Hey there. Um, while I had a little bit, I thought I would come on here and answer a couple of emails. Um, I'm getting quite a few of them lately, and I love it. It gives me something to talk about on here with y'all. Um, and I'm always open to answering questions. Um, okay. Okay. I had one lady, I'm not going to say exactly her exact words, but in basics, she just says she is falling behind. She doesn't spend much time on her craft. She just doesn't have the time. Um, I say to her, make time. um, Truly, um, to me, there's nothing more important. Um, and you don't have to be, I don't know, all elaborate and go light up your altar and, sage your house and like you're going to perform a ritual or, do a big casting. You don't have to do all that. There are so many things that you can do in your everyday life to implement your craft. Use it. Anything you do can be, you can add your craft. Washing dishes, you can be saying, a prayer to your god or goddess or be throwing out an intention. I think I've said a lot of these before. You can, when you're cooking, uh, when you use your herbs, enchant those herbs while you're putting them in your food. When you take your bath, you know, do a ritual bath, do a cleansing bath. There's just so no end to the possibilities here. But I guarantee you, if you don't make time for your craft, it won't make time for you. Um, you get out of the habit. And I admit, it's easy to do. Sometimes I just flat out get bored. Um, and that'll happen as you get on into your craft and you do, like me, I'm used to doing the same things over and over because they work. um, I do dabble. Um, I know some witches will tell you not to dabble. I don't recommend it if you're a beginning witch, no. But if you're an experienced one, do as you will, And even if you're not, do as you will. But you need to make sure that whatever it is you're doing, if there's consequences, that you know of them and you know how to rectify them, how to protect yourself. I mean, there's all different things in this craft that you can do that, I'm sorry, but, could be a little dangerous for your well being. You have to understand, as powerful of creatures as we are not as powerful as the entities and the gods and goddesses. We just do not have that power in this realm and in this vessel. Um, so you have to be really careful. As I've said in other videos, if you're going to work with, even if you want to work with a different goddess, research that goddess or god, um, because you don't want to piss them off right off the bat, right? Um, and I don't think we piss them off per se. I mean, unless you're just completely out of line and um, degrading to them and just really disrespectful. Um, I think most of the time they probably just laugh. but that's my opinion. And then there's some out there, the lower entities, especially on the left-hand path, if you choose to go down that path, um, that, same as in our path, but when you're doing spells or evoking, and I've already told y'all the difference in them too. I hope you remember. There is a difference between invoking and evoking. Um, you just have to be careful of the lower level demons, um, because they're honestly more than not in it for your well-being. They could care less about you and care less about anything. So just be careful, but always make time for your craft. Like I said, you can driving down the road if you're going to work, make up a chant, something, to say as you're driving to work. A lot of witches keep the bags. Everybody calls them something different. Mojo bags, protection bags, whatever it may be, hanging there on their rearview mirror or somewhere in their car. Um, but you can always make time for it. Also, I've had several asking me about certain witches on YouTube. Number one, I don't watch every witch on YouTube. Um, I do watch a lot of them. The ones that I have found to be genuine and honest, and in it for what we're supposed to be in it for. Um, I do watch a lot of them. I'm not gonna say all of them. I probably should, because they're good channels to watch, is what I'm trying to get at. But then I don't want to separate everybody else and cause some big uproar. Well, why didn't you mention me? Blah blah blah. I'm not even going there because it's stupid and immature, and I'm not going to get up in the middle of these stupid little witch battles. So, um, as you become a more experienced witch, and this is why I tell you to listen to all of it. I mean, don't just listen to me. Uh, don't just listen to some of the other witches that have been on YouTube forever. Um, Listen to a bunch of them, and I promise you, as you start evaluating, you'll see the difference between the real witches and the fake ones. You will be able to distinguish them apart. Um, I can tell by looking at somebody instantly. But I've been a witch my entire life, a practicing witch my entire life, or most of it, all but maybe 5, 6, 7 years of it. But some witches, per se witches, I'll say witches, to me they're not really, but they claim to be witches. And now, and I'm not saying that every witch that charges for spells or sells her wares on Etsy or online, period, is not a witch. I am not saying that. So I don't want to hear all the rigmarole about that either. I'm saying there are some that will take advantage of you. Yeah, they're going to take your money, you know, and the whole time they're probably thinking, well, dumbasses, they shouldn't have sent me the money. Yeah, they'll send you an herb or something. It could be something they went out and picked in their backyard, a weed, grass, or unless you know your herbs and stuff. This is why you have to protect yourself. I mean, we can teach you and try to explain things to you and warn you, but in the long run, you're the one that is responsible for your own aura, your own protection. So do your research before you just take everything that one person says on YouTube. Okay. Um, because a lot of them will. Hi, Carla. A lot of them definitely will use the witch name to um, pretty much steal from you, is what they're doing. I mean, there's no other way to put it. They're just going to steal. So you have to be careful of them type of people that are calling themselves witches. And I've spotted a lot of them. I promise you. um, and just because someone comes on YouTube and they're all, dressed to the nines in witchy attire, as most people would consider witchy attire, the long fake nails and the eyeliner that goes up to their ears. And however, I love that look, but that doesn't make them the witch. Doesn't make you a witch because you dress or look like one, per se, what the stereotypical witch is supposed to look like. That doesn't matter. I know witches that don't wear any makeup at all. They wear boots and jeans every day. They don't even wear dresses. So, um, and to walk in their house, you don't see a bunch of witchy stuff sitting around either. Brooms hanging on the walls like you do in my house. It's just you're just gonna have to learn to recognize the ones that aren't, because looks definitely don't make the witch. Okay, and I've probably said that before too, but I'm just trying to answer some emails that I got, and I try not to be hateful. My internet is being stupid. I know mine's been doing that lately too, Carla. Be sitting there trying to play a game or something, and I'm a gamer. I like my games. It soothes my mind. I'm thinking about that instead of everything else that's going on in this tornado of a mind of mine. And I was also going to talk to y'all about an herb. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, that I have discovered. I just heard about today. And as I told y'all, um, it you never stop learning, and there are so many herbs, so many. It's just, I think it's just impossible to know every single one of them. Even plumb down to the weeds per se. Like dandelion is considered a weed. To me, it's not. To me, it's a very valuable player in the ecosystem, and it's really good for your health too. You can make dandelion jam, tea, um, which I'm going to make this year. They're starting to pop up in my backyard, and there's always a lot of them. So I'm going to pick a whole bunch of them and um, do something with my dandelions this year instead of just letting them, come up and then go away, dry up and blow away. But the herb or root that I have run across this afternoon is orris root. ORRIS root. And I'm going to research that. I never thought of witches as having a look. To me, it's more of an attitude. Exactly, Carla. I think a lot of us, if I was going out somewhere to, a gathering or, somewhere, I would probably um, dress as such, you know. And but I think a lot of us, when we do that, we do it simply to honor the um, past witches or elders, because of all the slander and blah blah blah. And actually, as I've said, the witch look, the pointed hat and the cape, um, that was actually, everybody wore that stuff back then. In a certain era, um, everybody had the pointed hats. Um, everybody wore capes before they actually invented the coat. They had the sleeves and all that. Everybody had capes. That's how they kept warm. So really, it wasn't a witch thing. It was the style back then, and the long, the knee high boots. They were for warmth. You know, um, it was truly just a style. And I think the witches chose to, uh, and well, and whenever you see a picture of a witch now, even say back in the 1800s, that's what they were wearing, huh? Because that was the style, you know. But because she was deemed a witch, then that style just kind of fluttered on down. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't the look of the per se witch. It was just the style, the boots, everything. So, and there was a story. And I meant to write it down, that I was going to share with y'all, that I learned last night too, about uh, the Vikings, and I'll just have to relook it up or rewatch it, and then I'll tell y'all. It was really interesting because I didn't know. It's something that we use to this day everywhere, but I didn't realize that it was derived from the Vikings, um, and stuff like that. But the more you study and just nosy around, whether it be the internet or read books or, talk to other witches, just research, research, research. That's all I do all the time. You'll find so many similarities. And somehow or another, the witch per se just got uh, separated from everybody else. She was made her own being, or he, back in the day, you just didn't hear of many male witches. Um, I still hear a lot of people calling them warlocks. Well, it depends on who you talk to, but if you talk to a real and true witch, we know that they're not warlocks. They're male witches. They're witches. Um, Actually, warlock. If you call somebody a warlock, to me that would be degrading as hell. It would be, shameful, because the warlocks, what we, the real witches, call warlocks, are the ones that were in a coven and they were cast out for whatever reason. It's pretty much going against your coven, or just not being true to the coven and not being true to the craft. A traitor, in other words. That's just the best way I know how to put it. They're traitors of the craft or of a coven. And so warlock isn't a sexy, good name to be calling a male witch. Um, the name is pretty neat. I agree. I mean, there's guitars called warlocks, uh, and all that. And there's this mysticism about warlocks, the warlock and the damsel, and blah 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 blah. Well, Hollywood can glamify anything. But in reality, a warlock, if someone calls someone a warlock, it's really not a good thing to be called in the craft, in witchcraft. So, anyway, and also another herb that I'm looking at to get is calamus. Uh, Now, this one is right up my alley. Um, you can use it for protection. It's one of them kind of universal herbs. Um, I just find it really interesting. Um, a lot of people put it in voodoo bags, even voodoo and hoodoo bags. Um, you just have to look up, and that'll give you something to do. Calamus root. It's spelled Calamus. And then orris root. Or you can just put in calamus. It doesn't have to be root because there's always root powder, what have you. But the orris root, ORRIS, I had never heard of. It's pretty interesting, and I love it because, as I said, as you get older and more into your craft, you kind of get bored. It's like, okay, what can we do for this? And as I also say all the time, a lot of these herbs can be used in the same ways. You've got a lot of protection herbs. I think it's one of those two that can also be used for protection. I just said that, didn't I? Yeah, but it can also be used, for hexing. Or calamus is best known, to be honest, for controlling someone. Like if you make a um, voodoo doll, or a puppet, um, then you could put the calamus root in it, and that's a control herb. It helps you gain control over that person whom you've made that puppet after. So I'm going to do some research on that. I said I wasn't going to do any more herbal videos because that could just go on for years. Um, and there's already so much, out on the internet, from the people that uh, grow them and all that. So I don't know. And I've also, I just ordered some of that Dittany of Crete. For some reason, I feel really drawn to that herb, and I don't know why yet. I'm going to do a lot of research on it and figure out where my connection is. People think I'm crazy when I say this, but I swear in another life that I was from Greece. I don't know. I just feel extremely connected to Greece. And I've had dreams, even when I was a very young girl, about standing up on cliffs and looking down at the ocean, the waves crashing, and just the way the landscape looked. And I've just always believed that's where, I dwelled at one time in another life. And maybe that's how come instantly, even as a very young girl, I was drawn to the Greek pantheon. Um, the Egyptian pantheon really interested me a whole lot. Still does. As I've told y'all one other time in college, I did my thesis in sociology on Egyptian culture. It's just amazing how smart and innovative they were. A lot of things that we use today were invented by the Egyptians, but I just never was drawn to that pantheon. You see what I'm saying? I respect everything about them. I find them a very interesting people. Um, and I do use Bast or Bastet, as some would call her, for my cats for protection of, for their well-being. Um, I haven't, and I did a video not too long ago about Hecate in the or the Egyptian pantheon. Now, it's not really proven, but if you look at the similarities from the name alone, I think it was a male that they referred to him as a male, and his name was Ekti or Ekit. I have a video on it because I had never heard of such a thing. I mean, I knew Hecate appeared in other pantheons here and there. It's like she'd just appear and then she was gone. But she's mainly in the Greek, and she was even adopted into the Greek from another one, and I can't think of what that is now. I believe it starts with an I. Anyway, she wasn't always Greek, but when you look at the Greek gods and goddesses and the tree, she's there. And I don't know how that happened because she originally was not Greek. I mean, she was Greek, but she wasn't part of the gods of Olympus and goddesses. She was part of the original gods before Zeus and all them took over and claimed Olympus. And I have a whole video on that too, but she is the only one that you'll find, and even in name wise, even close to the name that you will find in several other pantheons. Some people will say that Medea, Circe, and Hecate are all the same. I don't personally believe that. Medea and Circe came along way after Hecate. Hecate's been there from the very beginning because she was part of the original gods. I mean, Asteria and Perses was her parents, which was the king and queen of the. I told y'all I go blank. The original gods and goddesses. They weren't the Olympians. I just can't think right now. But anyway, so during this time that people are still stuck in their houses and bored, this is such a wonderful time to figure out to learn new things, to make up new spells. If you get if you have a WSDS, as I like to call them, on every herb that you have, it makes it a lot easier. And I call them witchy safety data sheets. And I highlight, there's little pages. I've showed y'all this before. I have everything alphabeticalized in just a regular binder. Yes, that's the name I was trying to think. She was a Titan. She is a Titan. She was the daughter of the king and queen of the Titans, Perses and Asteria. That's what I was trying to think of, Carla. Why didn't you say that a minute ago? I hurt my brain. I told y'all my brain just does this. It just blocks out. But you can get, you can make one of these sheets out for every herb you have. Now I have them alphabeticalized by the name of the herb. If you wanted, you could alphabeticalize them in what they do, like things you would use for love or money or whatever. You could put under L or M, but it just depends on how you want to do your book. But I have a sheet on every single herb that I use, so I have a quick reference. And because as I said, some of these are poisonous, not necessarily poisonous just touching them, but if they're ingested, some of them are poisonous to your animals, so don't drop them on the floor. I mean, it's just you need to research every herb that you've used for those reasons. Yeah, Carla, I did a lot of research on Hecate. I mean, I'm kind of partial because well, she's my mother, and I like to think of her in certain ways. You know, um, there's depending on which witch you talk to, which witch, say that 100 times. Which witch you talk to, um, she's got all these epithets, Enodia, Lampodia, um, just a Sortiera. There's just so many epithets that she has. Okay, and depending on which one you're needing from her, then you call upon that one. Well, I've never done that before. It's interesting to learn about. No, no beef there, but I just say Hecate, and she appears to me in whichever form she deems necessary at the time. You know, um, and I'll tell you, I know when she's mad at me, or not necessarily mad, but upset with me. And she probably is now because I've neglected my duties as a witch here lately. But I think she too understands that I just don't have the kind of privacy that I used to. And, as well as I do, when you're trying to do a spell or a ritual or something, you need privacy and you need quiet. And I just really don't have that right now. So, um, and there's been times that, I like to go out by my bamboo and set up a little altar and do certain things at springtime. Um, but now I've got neighbors over here that are always in their backyard yelling and screaming. They've got like 50 million kids over there all the time. And I can't even go in my backyard. So, and honestly, I need that. I need that in my life. I need that meditation time. I need that time with my goddess. I need that to continue. Um, I don't have the patience that I used to. Unfortunately, I just don't. I think a lot of that comes with age. Your nerves tend to start waning. You just can't deal with as much as you used to, and you pretty much end up at a zero tolerance level. And that's where I'm heading really quick. Lack of privacy is a big issue for me. I don't have a room that I can have for myself. Right. And a lot of especially the younger witches, they'll say, well, I'll just get a cardboard box and put a few things on there, and that's fine. But you still need privacy, you know. There's no possible way that if you're doing a spell that you can get the intent that you need into that spell if your mind cannot be totally focused on it. And with people running around, walking in and out, and doing this and doing that, your spell's not going to work because the intent is not going to be in there no matter how much you think it is. I would rather just kind of pack up a little ditty bag with a few of my witch things in it and go out in the country somewhere. If I have to, go to a crossroads. Perfect place for me because of Hecate, um, and do my work there. Except my luck, and I would pick an old dirt road way off somewhere. Well, some farmer would probably come down the middle of the road blowing dirt all over me and my stuff or run over me. Or a rattlesnake could come crawling out of somewhere. I'm such a pessimist, ain't I? Or an optimist. No, pessimist, yeah. But yeah, I miss that. I miss and it's my, here I am griping, and for the last probably honestly 3 months I didn't even go in that room and do anything because of other things that have been going on in my life, and I just didn't feel that I had the brain and the stamina to converse and all that and do spells. I just didn't have it in me. The energy, should I say. Oh, you don't? Bless your heart. Well, you know that you can form a crossroad out of something, even if it sticks. You can make you a representation of a crossroad. Um, that I have a bunch of crossroads dirt in there. There are T's but no crossroads. Huh. Well, some people may look at a crossroads different, but I look at it, as an X, where two roads meet straight this way, north and south and east and west meet. Some people would even consider a Y a crossroad. I don't, but some witches do. I guess because number one, they don't cross, they meet and then they separate. They don't cross. So I don't understand how they would call it a crossroad because it's not. But I'm not going to sit there and argue with them about it. That's a Y, not a crossroad. Crossroad would be like at a four-way stop. And we have literally, I don't know how many of them right outside of my town here because I live right on the outskirts of town. I don't have to drive very far to get to a crossroads. And that's where I go to get I have crossroads dirt. And of course, here in Oklahoma, it's red dirt. Justifying the use of it, yeah. The only thing that I see that's familiar or resembles or could even compare between a Y and a crossroad is the direction one needs to take. The whole being of the crossroads is, and this is why Hecate is the queen of the crossroads, because that's where honestly most of the time you're going to find her. And crossroads being metaphorically speaking, like in our lives when you hear the old adage, well, I was at a crossroads, I didn't know what to do. They weren't literally at a crossroads, but they were at a position or point in their life to where they had to make a decision and which way to go. Now you can say that could take place at a Y. Because, but I look at it differently. With crossroads, you have different options. You can either go forward, right, left, or back the way you came. At a fork in the road, a Y, you only have two choices. Well, I guess you have three. You have to go this way or that way, or back the way you came. You know, so I guess both of them are regarding making decisions, or choosing a path, choosing a way, but that isn't what Hecate calls a crossroads. See what I'm saying? I mean, I guess, teach their own, but to me, that's just not a crossroads, even though, yes, you do have to make a decision on which way to go, same as at a crossroads. You just have less options, if you ask me. But that's just my opinion, you know. So, and that goes right back to witches nowadays getting, some of them get way, they use that do as you will a little bit too freely, if you ask me. I mean, we have laws of nature, laws of physics, laws of the universe in place. I mean, they can go and do all they want and say all they want, but it's probably not going to work. You cannot go against the universe. We are not, nor will we ever be that powerful. Seriously. But, they can waste all the time and energy they want, and then they'll eventually figure it out. Just like, there's a lot of witches out there, and I understand people turning sour. But this is an individual thing. It's not necessarily the witch in this person. The witch in this person becomes that because the person is that way. Okay, I know that didn't make any sense to y'all. What I'm trying to say is, as the witch, as a human being, goes through life, the turmoils, the heartbreaks, the heartaches, the BS, the stress. Um, some women or men, as they get older, you know, besides the fact that we are going through the change in this human body, the hormonal crap and all that, your craft also changes. This is what people don't understand. Yes, we become more powerful, but in a different sense than you would think. We become more thought processing. We become um, more. I don't know how to explain it. The point I'm trying to make is that if you're happy with yourself and you've done your shadow work, and we all have a past, every one of us, and a lot of these witches that grow older, they grow with that pain. That pain stays there. Um, the disappointments. Um, they don't look forward. They don't have anything good to say. You see what I'm saying? They unfortunately stay in the past instead of doing shadow work, getting rid of it, dealing with it, and getting it out of your life. Now, granted, it's not ever going to be gone. It's part of you. It's part of your past. It's part of what has happened to mold you. But you can either let it destroy you, or you can let it make you stronger. Your knowledge comes with time, and it doesn't necessarily come out of a book. In fact, most of the time it doesn't. You learn things every day. whether you're a witch or just a regular, person walking around. Um, and if you don't take these lessons, then you'll just keep repeating the same old crap and expecting a different result, which is the definition of insanity. I can't live in the past. It's too bad. See, that's me. Um, there's too much that's happened in my lifetime that uh, was just not good and very not fair to me. That I could dwell on and dwell on and dwell on. And some days it does get the best of me, especially if I sit by myself too long or I start thinking and don't quit automatically. I'm really bad about that. One thought will lead to another and then another and then another. Before I know it, I'm back 15, 20 years ago when all hell was breaking loose and I'm feeling those same feelings that I did at the time unnecessarily. I've went through that. Why put myself through that again? So I try to catch myself and I'll stop. It's like, no, you're not there anymore. You don't have to be there. Don't put yourself back there. You've done that shadow work. And now I can think about those days and it really doesn't bother me. Um, I still sometimes wish that things might have been different, but it doesn't make me sad and, pissed off like it used to. I've dealt with it. So there's your shadow work, and shadow work can be rough. It's not something you don't just sit down and go, okay, so and so did this to me 10 years ago, forgive and forget. It's not that simple. And sometimes those thoughts are still there and you don't even know until something will trigger them. You get a triggered emotion to where, oh no, I've seen that before. I've been through this before. But when you've done your shadow work, you'll know how to deal with it better than you did the time before. It won't freak you out. You won't just sit and cry about it. You'll say, okay, well, this is how I'm going to deal with it then. Yeah, and you become stronger because of it. Yeah. And that's how we keep growing. That's how we protect ourselves. Because if you're just a lump of clay or putty that anybody can mold you, this and may roll you up in a ball and leave you sitting somewhere. And then you go on down the road, somebody else might get you and, make you into an hourglass shape. Quit letting people mold yourself. And that's why shadow work is so important. Seriously, I do it twice a year. Um, and sometimes I get really sad during those times of year because you want you kind of miss it. I know that sounds crazy, but you're so used to thinking those thoughts and panning, your life out because of this and that happened. When it's not there anymore, what do? You actually miss it, but you'd miss a wart on your face if you'd had it all your life and all of a sudden it wasn't there too, right? So um, you could experience all kinds of different feelings during shadow work. I've known some witches that even get sick, literally physically sick, um, because that poison, that negative energy, and all the stuff that they've kept inside for so many years, not even knowing that they were doing that, because it was packed down so deep that they could not get it out, deal with it, and get rid of it. It takes a lot of energy, and I think that's where the sickness comes in. Um, and I wouldn't call it sick as in sick about, you know, uh, human illness like a cold or the flu or something like this. And I felt like I've had the flu after doing shadow work, But I think it's because all that poison is exiting your body and so quickly that your body's readjusting itself. And therefore, that's why you feel different. You don't feel like yourself, because things are changing. And this will happen too as you escalate in your craft, as you become a more experienced witch, as you become more powerful, more knowing. You're going to go through levels, and you're going to feel every level. Um, don't let it scare you. It's supposed to happen. Um, I find myself now, a lot of times I'm at a zero tolerance level, but then I'm more able to sit and actually think about something before I make a decision or do something as I used to be. And I know that doesn't sound like much to a lot of people, but for me, it is an exceptional, very exceptionally good thing in my life because I used to have such a hot temper. I mean, I would fly literally off the handle, burst into flames, and no telling what would come out of my mouth or what I would do, and then regret it later. It's like, why did you act like that? So now I stop myself before I go get to that point. And I'm so proud of that because I now know how to do that. And maybe it came with age, maybe it came with my craft, maybe it became just part of I'm sick of worrying about it. I think that has a lot to do with it. I think a lot of times you just get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you finally put your foot down and say, no more. Yeah, I tell you that having a bad temper isn't a good thing. It's really not. It's bad on you, your health, um, relationships, and that doesn't mean necessarily your significant other. It could be your kids, it could be your mom, dad, grandma, anybody that is around you. Um, and there are times I still fly off the handle, trust me. But mainly my deal is I'll take it and take it and take it until I just finally blow the hell up. And the whole time I'm warning people, all right, I'm about to blow. You took anger management classes? Did they help? Every time I hear that, I think of that damn sitcom, Anger Management. Yeah, I just try to shift my mind. Your mind is a very powerful weapon. I guarantee you. And as I always say in witchcraft, you cannot be an effective witch without a healthy and powerful mind. So you can change anything. In all honesty, you can switch off how you're thinking and feeling. And I'm not saying do this at every emotion, by no means. These emotions you need to be experienced. They need to be had and dealt with. You know, I learned how to stop myself from getting to the point of explosion. See, that's what I've done. A lot of times I'll just say, well, I don't give a damn. I don't care anymore. You know, that may be something I'm saying at the time, but whenever I look down deep and get by myself, I know that that's not going to fix it. It's just something I'm covering up for the time until I can deal with it, you know? Because, yeah, I mean, I used to just stupid stuff, you know? But also, you know, being in nursing helped me a lot too. Hey, Love and Life, how are you? I can still get extremely angry, but I don't get violent. I used to be bad. Yeah, me too. It was not beyond me to throw anything within my reach at my target. Just saying. But I don't do that sort of thing anymore. You know, I try to do things that are more mature and where I don't give myself another heart attack by being so mad and upset. And hit your yeah. Yeah, Carla. I didn't like breaking my own stuff, trust me. But nowadays I'm pretty passive, but like I said, I'll sit there and take it and deal with it and deal with it until I finally just fucking explode and then Katie bar the door. Because once I've hit that point, I've hit it. Anger always has a cause when shut in. Exactly. That's true. And that's what we were talking about. Once I sat down and figured out, you know, what was actually making me mad, you know, um, I'm honestly just at the point in my life now to where if it bothers me, it's going away. You know why? Because it's my life and they're impeding it. They're making me miserable or pissed off or whatever, and an emotion I don't want to have. So why have it around, you know? Yeah, I've had to, and I have actually learned how to meditate. I think I'm getting really good at it now. I found some good meditation things online, and I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I feel better afterwards. I usually do it before I go to sleep, and then I even sleep better. So that's a good thing. I always wanted to learn how, and it's not that I had to learn. It was the fact that I just figured it would help me out a lot, and I needed to learn how to do it. And in order to do it, I had to learn to quiet my mind, which was not easy. I'm the type to snap back without thinking about it. It's a bad habit. Yeah, that's what we were talking about, love and life, because that's how I used to be. Now, I'm not going to say that I still don't freak the hell out, but you know, usually it's a damn good reason for doing so. It's not about every little bitty thing that, you know, gets on my nerves, which most things do get on my nerves. Still have to do. Yeah, I do. I do it not because just because I enjoy it, Carla. I like the music. I like the sounds. They just make me feel a lot more at ease with what I'm doing, and it helps me also visualize. You know. Hang on, I'll be right back. We'll let my cat out. But yeah, it's you know, what we all have to figure out, I guess, is it's our lives, you know, period. I have not used the crystal, Carla. I usually just sit there and listen to my stuff, and then I just go wherever. Do you use crystals? Which ones do you use? Oh, I mean, do you hang on to them to feel the energy in them, or do you hang on them to ground? Oh well, yeah, I know that, but I mean, as far as meditating, so you just hang on to them in your hands. Well, usually I have crystals all around me anyway, so I guess I inadvertently use them. Ow, my foot. I usually have some sort of crystal in every room I'm at. I mean, they're there. On the palm of my hand, rose quartz, amethyst, and labradorite. Yeah, yeah. The amethyst, especially, now, a lot of people, especially the newer witches, they get meditation and astral travel mixed up. As I've tried to explain to them, they're two separate things, two totally separate things. And now, usually when I astral travel, it's I'm asleep. Yeah, amethyst. Yeah, and amethyst is a good protection stone too. And we use that a lot in astral travel. I have an amethyst necklace that belonged to my grandmother that I enchanted and made for that specific reason. I'll put it on at night when I plan on astral travel and wear it to keep me connected. Because I want to leave my body for a while, just not, for ever. I want to be able to reconnect. You've never astral traveled? It's a trip. Pardon the pun. You actually go out of your body. Some witches, including myself, a lot of times just like to go up and play in the stars or around the moon and fly through the cosmos. Some have even astral traveled into another person's room and watched them sleep. I had 3 witches do this, do an experiment, and they had another person sitting with this other person that was sleeping, um, wrote down, what they wore to bed, what color their sheets were, little things around the room, certain pictures, and kept it. Nobody else knew what was in that book or what was in that room except the person that was sitting there and then the person that lived there. And these 3 witches, and they weren't even in the same state, um, did their thing, and then they all 3 sent, what they saw in that room and blah blah blah, and it was accurate to a T. Astral travel, you have to be careful because there's a lot of things in the ether that can, let's just say, nab you to where you can't return to your physical body. I know this sounds crazy, but you know me, being in the medical field, I've often thought about this. When people go into comas, maybe they're astral traveling, return to their body. Because the brain is still in motion. The brain's still going, regulating the body and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. And in some witches, when a cord, they'll hang on to a cord, like they'll tie it to their bedpost, and they'll hang on to this cord, wrap it around their wrist, kind of like to anchor themselves so that their physical body cannot be taken. I mean, a lot of times they do it that way just so that they can not just keep floating off into the ethers. But I don't, and like I tell the new witches, that is not something that I want them trying right off the bat, being a brand new witch, because a lot of things could go wrong if they even achieve it. A lot of things can go wrong if they don't know how to get themselves back. Well, Love and Life, I'm glad you're here. Do you astral travel? I guess they're gone. Never mind, something come up. Okay. Anyway, yeah. I mean, everybody has their own ideas about it, but and sometimes after doing that, I wake up, I'm exhausted, and then sometimes I'm just relaxed as I can be. But yeah, I don't recommend the new witches trying it. Not until they know more about it, until they've done their research to where they can get back. And I tell a lot of them too, a lot of these things, most people will just shake their head out like, nah, they don't exist, or that's impossible, what, okay, whatever, I happen to know that it is very possible. And when some of them, they'll try it and then they're like, damn, that worked, and it scares the hell out of them. Or when they do, get in on a spell or an evocation, and they actually do see things, and it freaks them the hell out. And I can't laugh. I mean, it's not that I'm making fun of them. It's just the look on their faces, and it's like, oh my God, that's real. Well, I tried to tell you it was real. So, I don't know. I don't know, Carla. So, anyway. Hi, Lady Blind Wolf. Me and Carla have been talking about astral travel and meditation. And actually, I was just about to get off of here. Need to find something to nosh on. That's okay. I just answered some emails that was sent to me, and then me and Carla got on the astral travel and meditation. But we're really just kind of gabbing. Oh, I know. And I probably will because it's a new moon. That's another thing I was going to talk about. See if y'all had plans, if y'all had anything you were doing tonight for the new moon. Because I'm going outside. Gonna light up my fire pit and do my stuff outside. Two things that you really suck at. I'll tell you what, now I'm good at astral travel. I always have been. But just sitting still on this plane and trying to meditate, no. I'm getting better at it, but I've really had to struggle with it. And I feel much better after, I do it. It's just getting it done. Um, my brain is always going 90 to nothing, so it's really hard to quiet it. How'd you do that? So you erased all that stuff? How the hell did you do that? That sounds like some shit I'd do. Maybe after our talk last night. Oh no. Erase my stuff? Why? Did we say something bad? What do you mean? Something I need to do? It said that my computer needed space and I deleted it. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, mine crashed. My whole computer crashed here a while back, so I mean, there's a lot of stuff that ain't on there that was. Yeah. See, and I wouldn't have known how to do that. Yeah. My old man is the computer nerd, so he went in there and fixed mine, or I wouldn't know what to do. I still don't have a shit ton of my pictures though. Most of my witchy pictures are gone. But they were just pictures I've seen on the internet that I thought were pretty or something. Sometimes I used them as a um, screensaver or something. Well, I did like my Santa Muerte candle. I'm going to probably make some incense. Those oranges I dried. No. Oh, cool. Oh, no. Damn. Yeah, you can use them oranges for all kinds of stuff. Well, I guess you know that. Spells and remember I talked last night about you need to talk to Hecate some fire pit. Yeah, yeah. That's my game plan for the new moon. I'm not gonna do anything elaborate. I'm just gonna go out there and talk to her. At least out there, and unless the damn dog next door or something's barking or all them kids are out there screaming and hollering. Surely they won't be by the time I get out there. And it's not that bad here either. It's a little chilly, but sitting by a fire. If I can get the damn thing started. I've just got really a bunch of junk in there right now. I don't have, I think I've got 1 or 2 pieces of wood out there. If it's dry. All I can do is try. You know, if nothing else, I'll go in my damn bedroom and do something in there. Shut the door. Can't shut my door though, because my little cat Lexi will scratch on it till I let her in. And she don't like it shut behind her either. She don't like shut doors. I guess Carla's gone. She was having trouble with her internet. But yeah. Yes, yes. Um, if you watch the video from the first of this when it started, I was saying that I got ordered 2 herbs that I had never heard of. It's orris root and calamus root. And I believe they would both serve my apothecary well, so I got them. I like ordering from Raven's Roost or Moonlight Magic because they're a small, company, or it's a witch that does it. But that damn shipping and handling, it's just crazy. I mean, she only charges like $2 for a bag of her stuff, but it's $4 shipping and handling. Of course, that's because of Amazon, not because of her. So, uh, I was able to get a black Cinnamorte, didn't pay attention, brought her home, and I guess they dropped her because she was all cracked up. Oh, wow. Yeah, that sucks, Lady Blind Wolf. I wish you could get in a spot where you could actually go sit outside and have some kind of peace and quiet without crackhead neighbors. I enjoy sitting out there, when it's warm. And I like my fire going. But like I said, that there's a dog next door that barks nonstop the whole time I'm out there. It's annoying. But I guess I'll get off here unless you have something you want to talk. Are you going to do a video later? I need to start thinking about my. I'll probably wait till around midnight or so, though. 1 o'clock. I usually do. And there's a point where the moon, whichever phase it's in, is right there in my backyard, perfectly facing the east. So what did you think about the horsehound stuff I sent you? I haven't read it yet, to be honest. After we got off here last night, I went to bed. And I pretty much slept off and on all day, and I probably needed it. I could still sleep. I just go through those phases where all I want to do is sleep, and then I'm okay again. I think it's my body's way of telling me, be quiet, be still, don't think so much. But I did order some of that. It will now be in my apothecary. Yeah, yes, yeah, yes. If it was up to me, I'd have one of everything, but I'd need a lot bigger cabinet than the one I got. But I will read that as soon as I get for sure. I'm not gonna do like no big elaborate ritual tonight. I'm not gonna stress myself out over it. I need to learn to stop doing that. That's just part of my OCD and being a Virgo. It's like everything has to be perfectly set up and blah blah blah, and I have to have everything planned and know exactly what words I'm gonna say. Which, if I was casting a spell, yes, it would be different, but I'm not. I might be. I don't know. I have a petition, but um, we'll see how that goes. And this time I'm gonna, usually if I write a petition, I'll send it up in flames. Um, I don't leave it laying around where everybody else can see it by accident or not. Let's see, where can I make a healing box and a wishing box? Oh yeah, awesome. Well, I'm gonna get me a project going because honestly, I have been fucking stir crazy. And if I I have a hard time a lot of years anyway. I have like a seasonal depression disorder. Some years it's worse than others, but this year hasn't been really that bad. I think because I've had other things going on that I'm worried about or thinking about, trying to deal with. And it's not so much, it's kind of overrode the depression. It's more anger. It's more, I wouldn't even call it anger. It's just more fed up. That's the best way how to put it. Just fucking fed up. But and that's what I was saying on the video earlier. That this is a time when we have to think about ourselves. I am not by nature a selfish person. Never have been. But all this shit's about to get the best of me, and I'm not gonna let it. So the shit's about to go down. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna start. And used to, I'd clean or do something, and I just don't even want to do that right now. I'm so sick of fucking dishes. I may not ever do another dish in my life. Seriously. But it's just a phase. It's just a time, a small bit of time in my life, and it's not gonna last forever. I'm gonna get in there and do my hair and do a small ritual bath before I do my other stuff. I may wait till afterwards though, because if I do get the fire going, then I'm gonna smell like smoke all night if I like fire smoke. So I may wait. But anyway. Well, if you do a video later on, I'll try to catch it. Like I said, I probably won't go out there till midnight or 1 o'clock, somewhere in there. And that's only if I can get the damn thing burning. I've been wanting to get me one of them big cast iron pots. Yeah, that I can just, do my stuff right here in the house. Which I can do it in there on my altar. I have a little one, but like I said, I don't have any fucking privacy around here anymore. And about the minute I'd get started, I'd be interrupted and that would piss me off. So why bother? Well, you'll have to show me what those look like when you're done with them. And your chicken's feet. I'm trying to get those videos up for 3 days. Really? Will they just not upload, or? I mean, I know that you erased everything, but that just happened, right? Well, okay. I'm gonna get off here and start getting a game plan together. And I may come back on here after I'm done. It depends on how tired I am. Like I said, I could go to sleep now, so. And I'm starting to get hungry. But anyway, I'll check you out later, and I may come back on around 3 or so, when I usually do, but I don't know for sure. Yeah, I drive some cilantro too. What do you mean? You have some cilantro? Because you put drive. According to my computer, it says I didn't have enough space. Oh. Oh, wow. Yeah, you can get a flash drive. Yeah, I really didn't know about them either until the old man told me about them. Yeah, but that would be good. You could download your other witchy stuff that's on your computer on that. Like the stuff you save. And then just plug it in whenever you get ready to use it. They're pretty neat. Actually, I didn't even know what they were, like I said, till he showed me, but I still don't have one. I mean, he's got several, but I don't use them. Okay. Well, I'm gonna get off here and I'll talk to you a little later if you're on here. I may come on later on. We'll see if I don't go in there and go to sleep. But I think right now we'll find something to eat and I'm gonna have to. I said I wasn't doing these damn dishes, but I'll have to because it'll drive me crazy until I do. But I love you, girl. Blessed be. Or is that there's some cilantro in there? Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, okay. So you're using it as in a spell. Okay, I got you. Okay, well I'm gonna get off here then and try to get busy. I gotta make up a game plan here about exactly what I want to do and need to do, and so I'll get it done. I was gonna make some new moon water, but I really on the new moon I definitely like to set it out for 3 days, and I'm already a day late, so I won't do that probably. Okay. All right. Well, I'll talk to you later, sweetie. Do something for the new moon for yourself. Blessed be.